Alright, so in this video I'm going to fix this Dyson. I got it for free and they gave it away because this brush is not spinning. So, and I think I can fix it. So the first thing I'm going to do, watch, let me show you. Turn it on. Okay, so it's sucking. This sucks and then this thing sucks. But this is not spinning. So first thing you're gonna do is take this off here. I'm gonna put some gloves on right now because that's just what I do. I like to work with gloves on. And then I actually already took these screws off. So just take these screws off. You just need a small screwdriver. I have the small Phillips set. I got this little set off Amazon. Like I think it was like 15 bucks, and it has pretty much everything that you need. So I just use this for my small jobs and it gets the job done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you pull these out, or the screws right there. And then I think I already know what the problem is because I saw it already. So I put this out, and so there's this little plastic tab here, right? That's what grabs onto the brush and makes it spin. But look, plastic is sheared off. Let me see if you can see. So this is sheared off right there on this end. So most likely what's happening is this motor's spinning in here, but because these got sheared off, it's not grabbing, it's not spinning the brushes. And pull this one off, and this one is the same way, sheared off. So most likely the motor in there is spinning. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm that this is spinning. You can't really see it from here, so let me see. If I turn the light on and turn this on, let's see if you can see it spinning. I don't see anything spinning. So I'm going to go one step further, and I'm going to take this apart, and I'm going to hit these screws up here. They're like the star screws. And luckily this kit has everything. So I'm going to take this off and see if I can see anything spinning on here, because I've never broken this down. So let's see what we got down there. Alright, full disclosure, I am drinking a few beers. I just got these Kirkland lagers. They're not bad. They're pretty good. I'm not sponsored by Kirkland, but if they want to sponsor me, please feel free to. If you give me a few cases of these, I will drink them during every video. Okay, so once you take all the screws off, all you gotta do is disconnect it from here, and then this just breaks away. This literally just comes apart, and then now you can isolate the motor here. And you can get straight to it. So I need both my hands, and I'm gonna flip this over to see. I gotta get this open somehow, because I want to see if this thing's spinning. Okay, so I just flipped this thing over. One thing that I noticed is that you can see the impellers here, and the good news is this is not seized up. So if you can move this motor by hand, that's a good sign. That means that this motor is not seized up, but it does look like there's some oxidation here. So the connectors are on there, so I'm pretty sure we're getting power. So actually what I want to do now is I want to plug this in. I want to connect it there. I want to see if this thing spins. If this thing spins, then I know the problem is in the gears. And so then I'm going to take this apart a little bit further, take this off, and see which gear in here is broken. So I got to get this back onto this guy here loosely, and so I can see if this thing spins. Okay, so check it out. This is not spinning. It spun for 1 second and then stopped. So watch this. I got it plugged in here. Pressing these buttons and nothing. So the next thing is check if we have voltage here. How much voltage we have, I don't know, but it's most likely DC. So let's get a voltmeter here. Put it on DC. I'm guessing maybe 24 volts. We'll then see if we're actually getting voltage here. If not, then we know it's a control problem. We still got to figure out we still got to replace this part. But first, let's get this voltage down here first. Figure out what's causing that. Okay, so a really strange thing happened. When I had power to it, it wouldn't move until I pushed on the impeller, and now check this out. I'm not sure why that's doing that, but obviously it's an intermittent contact that it's making. I just touched this side here, and then all of a sudden it started working. So now I want to play with this motor. I'm going to pull this motor out and see, because it's working intermittently. Strange. So now I have it in the upright. It shouldn't work now. It shouldn't run. So now it should work. But this, now it's not working. So now I'm gonna take this motor out and I wanna test it, see what's going on. All right, so I tested the voltage because I thought that would probably be a pretty smart thing to do, and we're not getting voltage. So I'm gonna get my other test leads, my thin ones, to connect it so you can see. Okay, so I have my super thin needle leads. If you don't have these, you really should. So I'm gonna connect it there and see what my voltage is when I run it. I got no voltage. I got 0 volts. So that's a problem. That voltage comes from up here. You gotta figure out what's going on there. I'm gonna take this off and test the voltage right there. Let's see what we got there. All right, let's see what we got here. Nothing. So let's see. I wonder if that has something to do with this button right here. So we have intermittent voltage coming down there. And so that's what's causing this motor not to turn. But we still gotta repair this guy because that sheared everything off. So let's do one thing at a time. Let's figure out why the voltage didn't come from there. All right, I just started moving this around. Tilting it back, and now all of a sudden, look, I got suction from down here. I got suction from in here, and now I got voltage. Look. 4 volts DC coming down there. Now this is spinning. And now this is spinning. I don't know what I did. All I did was mess around in those plugs. Maybe those connections are dirty. Tilt this back and now it's working. And now we have suction down here. This motor is spinning like a son of a bitch. So you can see it in there. It's spinning. You can kind of see the spinning. So what that's telling me is that inside here, these connection points are dirty, I think. So I'm gonna spray some dielectric grease in there, and that's basically gonna make the contact points a little better. It's gonna increase the conductivity, how conductive it is. I can't even say it because I'm buzzed. And that should help with the connection points in there. And then we'll go to the next step and that is fix the gearbox in there. All right, so I'm going to use some of this dielectric tune-up grease, and I'm just going to put it on these pins, lather them up, and then slide that back in, and we should be good there. All right, so I want to get some pictures of this because I don't want to forget how this goes back on. So wraps up around here, and then I just took this screw off, and now this whole thing came off. And then I took these two screws off, and now I think I just gotta split this, but there's a screw there right there, so I gotta take that screw off. And then at that point, this whole housing, this part right here will come off. So I just gotta take this small screw off right there. All right, got the screw off. Let's see what we got. Nice. So looks like I got some plastic in here. Looks like this motor spinning and this belt spinning, it's turning this guy, but because everything's sheared off, that no bueno. So I'm pretty positive all we gotta do is replace this guy right here. Now I just gotta figure out where to get this, because look at everything else. This motor is spinning. I'm not gonna put it under power. This thing's gonna go flying apart. This motor is spinning. We already confirmed that. Now it's just this guy. So we just gotta replace this guy, and maybe just replace the belt for shits and giggles, just so we know that we have a new belt. And that's it. Now I gotta find that part. All right, so check it out. Got that out, and there's a part number. Dyson T106505 BC, Bravo C. That's gonna let me find this part pretty much anywhere. eBay, Amazon, probably maybe from Dyson. And that's it. We're gonna replace this part, since these plastic pieces sheared right off. Look at that, boom, sheared right off. And I'm gonna replace this part. I'm gonna find it online. I bet you it's only like 10-15 bucks. And I'm gonna repair this whole Dyson for 30 bucks. Took about 4 or 5 days to get here, but this is it. So if you look up that part number T106505, you'll find this, and that is the part. All right, got the new part in hand and confirm that that's it. So go to eBay, order this guy, and you should be good. I tried to look for it on Amazon. Amazon didn't have it. Dyson, I forget what the cost was for on the Dyson website, but this was the best one. So just go to eBay and get it. All right, so here is the used part live. Looks good. Came with the bearings already installed, so I'm going to have to take off the bearings from this guy. So I think it should be relatively easy. Just pop those off with a screwdriver and a hammer, and then replace this guy here, and we should be good to go. I don't think it's gonna fit here, but I'm gonna pull all these parts back out and then go from there. All right, so in order to take these off, you got to take these screws off. I didn't even notice that there's a screw on either side holding these guys in. So you just need a star head. I don't know what size it is, and take this out, take these screws out, and you should be able to pop these two off. All right, so screws out, they pop right off, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now we just got to get these out. I think I'm just going to lay this down flat and tap these lightly and get it out. Maybe spray some penetrating grease in there first. Okay, none of that was necessary. I literally just pushed this out with my fingers. It's not that tight. So I just pushed a little bit, they pop right out. And then they're all dirty in there, so I'm just gonna clean that area out and slide that on there. Okay, so that piece is gonna slide right in this way. So there's two little slots right there. These 2 points slide in here, and I'll show you. I need both hands, so I'll show you how it looks after. All right, so I got both pieces in there now, and then I'm just gonna put this band back on there, and then be able to, I can put this cover back on and put some screws in there, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so now with the band back on there, this is nice and snug. So now once that motor spins, it's definitely gonna turn this and gonna turn those brushes, and this thing is gonna be working. So just gotta put this cover back on this way, put the 3 screws back on, and we can start putting the rest of it back together. All right, so I got this all back together. 1 screw here, the other 2 on the sides, and now this feels nice and sturdy. No hang-ups, spinning smoothly. Now I'm gonna put this back in here, screw that down, and we should be good to go. I need to get a GoPro or something, because this is hard to do with one hand. So it just goes back in here like this. Boink. Okay, so I got it all back down there. I don't want to start screwing anything together until I test it again. So I'm actually going to plug it back in and then confirm that I have good contact points here, that my voltage is working, it's flowing through, and this is spinning properly before I put it all back together. All right, here we go, the moment of truth. Got this sitting in there, plugged in, and now let's see if this works. Yeah. Now it's not working. Son of a bitch. Let's see. Oh, not working. Okay, so I think I know what's happening. So the way this little motor works, the voltage comes into these plugs, right? And then it goes through these metal points right here. And if you can see, this is disconnected. These metal points are touching this guy. This is going down to the motor. So this is where our voltage goes down into the motor. So the reason why it's intermittent is because every time I tap this, it'll work, and that is because there's most likely a dirty contact point down there. See all this water deposit? I bet you there's rust down there. So it's only happening on this side, and then coincidentally you can see a bunch of rust on there, but you don't see, well, you see a little bit on this side, but not that much. So I'm gonna peel these back, pry these back, and clean down there, clean up that contact point, because I'm willing to bet that we got some water deposit. Everything got wet, got left outside or something, and then there's some deposit in there. So we know we're getting voltage here, but this is just working intermittently. It's these contact points. They're not clean. So I'm gonna figure out how to pry these back and clean these, and then make sure that we have really good contact points. All right, so I pried this back, and as you can see, there's a ton of rust. So there's rust down there, rust here. So this definitely got wet, and now there's bad contact points feeding the motor. So I wonder if there's rust down in here. I'm not sure how to break this down a little further, but I wonder if I just clean this up and with some brushes, some wire brushes, and put some of that dielectric grease in there. I think we might be good, because most likely, well, I should peel this back. I should peel this one back, and see what that contact point looks like, because I bet you there's a lot of rust there. Let me do that. All right, so there's a little bit of rust in there, but you can't really tell. But in here there's like copper wires, so a little bit of rust. I blew it out, and I'm gonna put some dielectric grease inside of there and then just shut this back down, because if I take that apart, I'm gonna really screw things up. So I'm just gonna squeeze some dielectric grease inside of here where there's like a spring in there, push this down, clean with the wire brush this surface and that surface, and then push it all down again, and then we should be good to go. And I'm gonna do that for both sides. All right, got them all cleaned up, put all back together, and we're looking good. So now I'm going to test it and see what's up. All right, I'm gonna put this all back together and see how it goes. And it seems to be working properly now, so I'm gonna just slap it all together and see what's what. All right, so I got everything put back together, and this is the finished product. Here we go. Power on. Press this little button right here. Off. Well, that's it. That fixed it. Hope this video helped. If it did, subscribe, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and I'll put a link to this little kit here. I've had this for a long time, so I didn't just use this for this job. I've had this for quite a while. I even got some of my own little tools in here. But yeah, hope this helped, and if it helped you fix your Dyson, let me know.